Let's do it old school.
I made you sound beat.
Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready for love. 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 Get
because we have some big announcements. We have a lot to cover. Michelle, whatever that is in the background, turn it off. Michelle.
I'm here.
Yes, but I hear whatever's in your background. Turn it off. Don't start.
It's not off.
No, I hear every word of it. Good morning.
What is it saying?
I don't know. It's like the television is on or something.
Oh, I can't believe you hear that.
I hear it.
How about now?
No, I don't hear it now. Okay, so while we wait for people to come into the room, we're having a very special night tonight. We're very excited to share with you some big, beautiful news that we will no longer be live with Nikki and Michelle. That we will now be considered. What did you call us yesterday, Michelle? A trouble?
I did not.
Yes, you did. You said we were a trouble or something. I don't know.
I don't use that language.
Well, that's what you said, church girl. But anyway, we are now a throuple. We're no longer live. We're no longer in the ladies' room with Nikki and Michelle. We are now live with the ladies. And Michelle, would you like to introduce our new co-host?
Yes, so I am beyond excited to have this young lady joining us. She is a good girlfriend of mine. And she's solid. She's solid. Good people, great heart, very inspirational. And I'm excited about all that she is going to bring to our conversations. So without any further ado, please, y'all, help me welcome my good girlfriend, Dion.
So, wait. The controller's messing up here. So now we have with us live on stage and live forevermore, Miss Dion McNear. Wait a minute. Come on, promoter. Get your stuff together.
Everybody. Hi, ladies.
You are the producer.
I am so excited to be a part of this beautiful group. I am so excited to be with you guys. I thank you for this opportunity to be with you. I love y'all so much, and I'm excited to see where we're going to go.
I'm very excited myself. So, Michelle, come on, give us some background, because you know how long you and Dion been kicking it.
We've been riding since Cadillac.
We've been riding without power steering.
Yes, we've been riding for a long time. And the beauty of our friendship, honestly, one that I value so much, is that, you know, as we grow older, you know, sometimes our paths move in different directions, but the friendship and the love and the connection never, ever wavers. And that's how you know you're dealing with a solid person. So I may not see her or speak to her for months at a time, but when we get back together, It is all love, and I cannot
Always.
tell you how much I appreciate and the support. A lot of people don't know this, but she's been a huge cheerleader of mine, a huge support. And even when I don't know I need her, she come walking through the door. That's love. Really, that's love.
It really
So
is. It really
I
is.
am just grateful. Who we have in here? Somebody come on and say hi. Tell us who out there.
The ladies are here, but they're using Facebook names. I can't really see their names, so they have to share that they want their names to be shown. So otherwise, I won't be able to see the names because I'm in the StreamYard program. I can't see them because I'm not on Facebook.
And I'm trying to get on there so I can see. Can you see, Michelle?
Yeah, I can see the comments.
Okay, I see the comments, but I don't see the people. But anyway, the Mustang is here, whoever that is. And I just want to open up our discussion for the night. I hope that we don't go overboard, but we might. And if we do, that's just okay because we got a lot of ground to cover. So I'm just going to start off with introducing the topic. Then I have a few clips that I like to show you guys or at least let you hear that will kind of weave into the topic. So tonight's discussion, of course, if you've been following us in the ladies' room and joining our discussion on the in the ladies' room, tonight's discussion is pattern after. I don't know if how many of you guys, because people didn't get it, some people did, but I don't know how many of you guys used to watch the Little Rascals.
I did, Nick. I did.
So tonight's program was modeled after the Little Rascals, He-Man Woman Haters Club. Does anybody ever remember that? It was a club that they had the Little Rascals where women were just not welcome. Well, today I'm thought about that. Well, not today, but lately I've been thinking about that when I've been thinking about some of the posts I've seen on Facebook and some of the news coming out in regards to politics, and just thinking about how in the same year that Barbie was one of the number one box hits, reclaiming the woman's image as being a self-proclaimed person and what she wanted to do, was the same year that the Supreme Court sent women back into the dark ages by overturning Roe versus Wade.
That's right.
So I wanted to have a discussion about that, and particularly thinking about how men think about women and what women should be in the world, and how those things become law, like the overturning of Roe versus Wade, and how bad it could possibly get when you think about a movie like Handmaid's Tale, and think about how in that movie it is a depiction of modern times where we live in a dystopian world based on how men view women, and that women let me just to give you a brief outlet of the movie. Well, it's not a movie, it's a series. It talks about how women, for some reason, something happened where a lot of women could not conceive or carry to term, but there were a group of women who could. So they kind of like kidnapped these women, and they were basically raping these women so that those women could have babies for their wives. It's not just the patriarchal system, but it was also based on your status, your status, and all those things. But anyway, I don't want to go off topic. Stay on patriarchy, Nikki, because you know you can go somewhere else. But anyway, those are the things that we think about when we think about how men actually set up and control society, and some of the things that women have to deal with, like healthcare, the kinds of careers we have, and even intimate relations. How do you work within your relationship with a man? Are you relegated to a gender role? Is there a stereotype that we have to conform to? So I'm gonna play these videos really quick, and please just, it might be hard to listen to. I hope not. But just I want you to kind of get the gist of where we're going with these topics when I play the videos. So it'll just give you a little a little backstory to where I was going in my thought. Oh, wait.
The world would probably be a much better place if men were the ones that were oppressed for all these years instead of women. Roll the clip.
Are women living in a state of delusion, thinking that they just gonna find the most perfect man ever, and if not, and they can't find that, they'll just be single, as if that's supposed to do any type of advancement to our society. Ask yourself, what is your purpose on the earth as a woman if you're not seeking some type of family, and especially family of your own? Like, what exactly are you trying to accomplish on this earth?
The fact that y'all look at yourselves in the mirror every day, and can't understand why women wouldn't risk their lives to potentially have a human like you is beyond me. Like, at this point, y'all are the birth control, okay? Your mama was a sacrificial lamb. She had you. We saw how it turned out.
Okay, I'm going to go away from him because he's kind of agreeing with us, but I'll explain that part. But here's another video.
The way that conservative men talk about women, because this is like a factor in this. It's the way they think about women. Here are just a handful of them.
The Roe v. Wade issue is an issue that we should win. It was sent back to the states. The states are going to really dominate.
Birth control really screws up female brains, by the way. Every single one of you need to make sure that your loved ones are not on birth control. It increases depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation. It creates very angry and bitter young ladies and young women. Will women have the right to vote tomorrow if you wave that magic Christian wand?
No.
Okay, why not? I want to get into why not. Yeah, that's great.
No. Because if we had a Christian nation tomorrow and women did have the right to vote, we would not have a Christian nation within 50 years.
It's like a beta male convention. I just wanted to show that because to let people understand where this is going. Since I've been in high school, people on the right have been saying.
Okay, that was the second one. Here's the last one.
Just because a man sleeps with another woman does not mean he doesn't still respect you. That doesn't mean that he doesn't love you. No, she means nothing to him. And if you think I'm going to give up my life for a man that loves me and respects me and take care of me, he didn't claim her. He put that ring on my finger. Okay. So why am I going to leave over someone that doesn't mean anything? He's a man. He's just going to be a man. That's it. My soon-to-be husband, he treats me well. He respects me. I don't have to ask for anything. But at the same time, I also do what I'm supposed to do with a woman. I cook, I clean, I suck the fuck up. So I know how to keep my man. Just because a man sleeps.
So I think you might kind of get the gist of that and where I kind of was going with those three, showing those three videos is in that order. I wanted to show how men really think that women are kind of just put here to be some kind of reproductive chamber, or we're just here to take care of a family, not necessarily to have our own self-fulfillment or gratification, but here as a component for the male. The second one shows exactly the same thing, how not only do men think that, but here are a group of men who are obviously in some type of position of power who want to make these things become law. So that was the scary part about it. But the last one, it was scary, but it's not scary, because the thing about that is, here's where you see what men think of women becoming our burden to conform to. So in other words, because men think this way about women, in order for us, if we really, really, really want to be with a man, we have to conform to his standards of disrespect. And not necessarily, because in my thought, when I saw that young woman, nice looking, beautiful young woman, is I mean, what is it that you have in your life for yourself? You just there to do whatever, you know. I'm not gonna repeat what she said, but is that all you're here for? So, ladies, go.
He did
Well,
it.
I will. I know. I will say this though. I will say this. I'm grateful that we had an opportunity to have a conversation about this topic last night because one, it gave me some insight, and then two, I was able to really think about it on today. And the problem is almost like racism. It's so deep rooted, right? It's so women have been getting treated like second class citizens for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. If you go back and you think about slavery, you know, and what women were put through, particularly Black women, and for many, many, many years, because think about it, we didn't even really get the right to vote until fairly recently. Like, it hasn't been that long. So to think that we are so far ahead, you have to consider we just got to the space, and because we are the powerful beings that we are, we pulled ourselves up, we educated ourselves. Nikki, I sent you a clip this afternoon. I don't know if you would be able to load it, but the girl in that clip had a great way of explaining how it was excellent. She had a great way of explaining how so much responsibility falls on the woman.
Mm-hmm.
We are the ones who's giving life. We give life. We give birth to any and everything that exists, right? So while you walking around like big macho man, if it wasn't for a woman, first of all, you wouldn't even be here. Mm-hmm. That's number one, that part. Now we got to raise the kids. Well, I don't, but you get the picture. You got to raise the kids. You got to clean the house. You got to cook. You have to do all these things. And then, as per that clip, we even find ourselves in positions where if he falls short, we got to then somehow pick up the slack. So if that means
even that I didn't play that clip, but I can now if we go that way. It's not I can find a way to load it. But the reason I didn't play that clip is because I wanted us to have a part 2 of this discussion to really bring home what it is that women, Black women in particular, really not only bring to the table, but we bring to this country as a whole. Because when you think about the way men have been bashing women and laying the problems of the world at a woman's feet, you have to reconsider that a lot of the problems that they lay at our feet are problems that they created.
And that's kind of sort of where I was going, because, you know, I understand now after thinking about it that a lot of this is so deep rooted. Now, fast forward, let's come to present time. Women, we on the come up, right? We are the most educated population in the world.
That's
Period. You know, I know more Black women professionals than I can even count. I'm talking entrepreneurs, business women, you know, in the police field, in healthcare, in all these places, are nurses and doctors and all these things. And I think what's happening now, plain and simple, is that the men are running scared. Mm-hmm. The men are truly running scared. As my father would say, they running scared because they know that if we are given the opportunity, we would take over the world. As Beyonce said so eloquently, who run the world? Girls.
I just want to touch a little bit on the fact that why is it, you know, we talked a little bit about it last night, and when we talked about where is it coming from, right? Mm-hmm. It's always been there. But we've come a long way from that. And so my thought pattern is like, why is it still so out there now, right? Why is it seems to be like they want us to go backwards? What is it about right now that they see that we're moving, but yet they want to bring us backwards? I'm really confused on that, you know? I don't
It's kind of I don't know why, but I think about that one line in the
when you finish, Michelle.
It's like that Malcolm X movie, right? That's too much power for one man to have. They are scared. It's like we can really take over. And they're aware of this. So in order to avoid that, if I could push you back to the Stone Age and say you can't vote and say you can't be responsible. Exactly. If I could put that back, then I could slow down or even stop the progression of all of these amazing women out here, because women about to take over. And that, I believe, is the biggest fear.
So that is definitely part of it. But I think, you know me, here I go. But I think one of the biggest things that we can't lose sight of is that white supremacy and racism play a great big deal in what's happening to women, period. Just like even the feminist movement. If you think of the feminist movement was really started and agitated because the civil rights movement was gaining so much power. So what they did was they put the feminism movement in motion in order to divide these two groups. And even within the feminist movement, there was a divide between black and white women. So white men understand, powerful white men understand, as long as groups are divided, you'll never come together and really solve the real problem, which is them. So the reason that feminism is really become, I'm not even feminism, because I'm not a feminist in the sense of that movement. I am a feminist in the sense that I would like to see women have equal rights, be treated well, and have all the opportunities that they want to have in life.
Right.
But I'm not a part of it. I don't, I don't really subscribe to the feminist movement per se. But I do understand and recognize that there is a link that white men understand, powerful white men understand, that if women come together and become so powerful, that women understand that they are also a minority like other groups. And if they all come together, they have no chance. And so as long as they could divide and conquer, that's what they'll do.
And that's exactly what I was thinking in my head. To your point, that's always been, the way to go for them. Divide and conquer, whether it's divide the women or divide the races. Right. And even amongst our own race, right. There's still that element of divide and conquer. So again, like I said at the very beginning, these things are so deep rooted. And then you fast forward and these,
it's the intertwining for me that's really relevant, because patriarchy says that men should power and rule over women. However, if there was patriarchy that really was in place, do you think that they would really allow black men to have a seat in the upper echelons of power brokering? Not really. So what they do is they just keep black men and women fighting each other, so we can't come together. White women and black women fighting together, so we can't come together. And while we're doing all, and even other races of people, because in 2050, this white people will have will start their population will be declining, and other populations will start to outpace them.
That's right.
And so they don't want that. And that's one of the reasons why they want to throw back Roe versus Wade, because they want white women to have babies. They need white women to produce so that they could have people to continue their legacy. But anyway, I digress.
But if they ban abortions, though, more black people gonna be having babies, right?
But that's not really statistic. Yes, that's true. But more black people are going to be having babies, but they don't really care about our population. What they care about is white women having babies, because they kept saying for the longest. I don't know if you remember this ad. They even had one in North, where it said that the dangerous place for a black child is in a black woman's in a black woman's uterus. In other words, they were trying to say that black women were having higher rates of abortion than they were, but that was a lie. It's a lie, and white women have abortions at much higher rates than any other race, and that's why they want to ban abortion.
But they got to realize, a case in point of as I'm sitting here, they try to ban abortions, but a lot of people are mixing races. So if they thinking that their race is going to come up from this, it's really not. I'm sitting here as proof of that 55 years ago. And it's even more now than it was back then. I mean, people are, it's interracial people all over the world. So they think that that's going to help them, in fact, but it's really not. It's not.
Because you know them Kardashians gonna keep a black baby. They're gonna keep a black baby in tow. Oh yes, they are. Yes, right. They are.
You are.
But you were saying
one sister went wayward.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about that, but go ahead, Michelle. What'd you say, Dion?
I was saying, Michelle was saying, we're about to take over the world, if they would leave us alone, but I like to believe that we already took over the world. We run the world, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Because no matter who's in power, you already know it's the woman pushing the envelope
behind it. Exactly.
And so they want the prestige, they want the accolades for it. But let's be clear, majority of it is a woman pushing. Be it your mama, your wife, whoever, your significant other. Most of the times, it's the woman pushing the envelope in order for them to get higher. Meanwhile, the woman ain't getting the accolades. The woman ain't getting the pay. And we talked a little bit about that last night, about how I see, even in the workplace, still till this day, how they don't believe women should be in leadership. They don't say it, but their actions speak that.
Right.
And I've seen it one too many times, down to salaries I've seen with my own eyes, and it happened to me. So I see it every day, and it's so unfortunate. Whereas I was out working someone, they put me in a position to clean up what he messed up, but they paid me $10,000 less.
Isn't that something?
And I saw that because I had to do the budget, and I said, "Wait a minute, I need to speak to somebody now." so which I did.
I need to call.
Right, they compensated me, but I already went 8 months without that pay. And you're not gonna back pay me, right? And I'm cleaning up what he messed up. Now I'm not gonna say every man, because we're not here to bash every man. I don't believe that.
Right.
But I seen it firsthand on how they don't want women in leadership. Mm-hmm. They don't.
And that's the thing. We never hear. I don't know about y'all, but I love men.
No, I love them. I know I do.
I love a man. I want a man, and I need a man.
There we go.
But in the same token, I'm not going to lessen my my standards to be with a man.
There we go.
And I think a lot of this, what men are asking of women or wanting from women, is deep in is steeped in their own insecurities. The things that they think that they ought to have. When a woman comes to the table with it and they don't have it, then they bashing us about that.
Because that's when their ego and their pride kick in.
Exactly.
Instead
of
then
if we don't have it, then we gold diggers. I mean, what do you want?
Right. Instead of encouraging, right, empowering, you feeling a way about yourself, and then portraying it on someone else.
Right.
And that's the problem. I wish is any men in the live that we could get some information?
And I don't see any men in the ladies.
That we could see where they're coming from.
So that's a man. Oh no, that's just a Facebook head.
Okay.
Men in the ladies' room today, they might have been scared of this topic.
the topic kind of, I think the topic might have scared a few people, but if they would have really just come and try to see what it's about.
Right. Hopefully they'll come on later and learn a thing or two.
There we
Because
go.
another thing that those videos were pointing out, in my thought, was a lot of times this how you say evangelical Christian movement is,
oh my gosh,
honey, it's a horror.
It really is.
It really is a horror, and the things that they are trying to have, that's why they support Trump so much.
Right.
Because they want him to support these very ultra conservative ways of being in the world that are so unbelievable and hurtful to women. I mean, talk about the dark ages. They are horrible. If Trump get in, we might be picking cotton again.
I'm telling you,
you know what? And I didn't even think about this, but he is a prime example of how not to treat a woman. Look at his history.
Right.
His history alone.
Exactly.
So
I mean,
he don't respect at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
At all. So have him being as a leader. Imagine that.
Yes.
Yeah. Again. Well, we already seen it. We already seen it. I'm just praying we don't see it again.
Right. And this is the standard that men are trying to hold.
The thought. I shudder to think. That's all I can say. I shudder to think if he gets another run.
I'm telling you, I feel the same way.
It's very scary.
I just see pure chaos. That's all I see.
And like I tell everybody,
pure chaos.
What we're not gonna do is go to the back. We're not going to the back. So it's gonna definitely be some chaos because there's no way. They may want us to, but we're not. This is not then. We're not doing it. So it's gonna be something.
Right. I just pray that he don't get in.
You got that right.
It's very scary just the thought of some of the things that he might put in place. But okay, so what do you guys think about the public perception of how men treat women? Because a lot of people like to refer to this what's this guy? Kevin Samuels.
The one that passed away?
Yeah, the one that
the same way he passed away the same way he was talking about women.
That one?
That one?
That's that one. Yes, that one.
Oh, yeah. It was almost like a cult behind him to me.
Yeah, to me too.
That's what I got from it. It was almost like a cult.
But what was so disturbing was how many people were calling to his show for advice.
So that is the conforming.
Are you kidding me?
And some women do. They conform.
And I don't understand it though. Like I guess because we're not those type of women, and I just wonder, is it what, to be accepted and to think you're gonna be loved, or what? Because it's definitely not respect. So I don't understand. What are you getting from that?
Mm-hmm. And that's another point where I say that men don't really take accountability for the ways in which women even behave, because most women do what they do in order to be in a romance or be in relation with a man. So if women see men dating women who look like floozies, guess what? They're gonna go home and dress up like a floozy because they want a man too. If women see men, I don't know. I can't explain it. It's just in my mind. I'm feeling like men. They think that we are the ones with all the power and molding how things are, but it's really them. They are the ones who shape how women and men, be in relationship. They are the ones who are we lost Dion. They are the ones who, women. Oh, she's back.
What?
Sorry. Yeah, so they are the ones that we we look to figure out how we want to date, who we want to date. So if they change their stuff up and act right, we gonna act right.
Someone said
So
accountability.
wait, go ahead, D.
Dion, read it, Dion. That's it. I don't hear you. Your sound went out. Dion, accountability is at an all-time low with men. Can you hear me?
Accountability is at an all-time low with men.
men.
Like you said, Nikki, they don't take accountability for the things that they do. But there's a second part to that. We don't hold them accountable.
That's
Why?
true.
We too scared. We too scared they're gonna leave, they're gonna run out, they're gonna cheat, they're gonna do this, that, and the other. And it's that part. The woman in the clip that we listened to earlier said, "Do you think I'm leaving my man because he slept with somebody else?" The answer should have been, and yes. Like, I don't even know why that's a thought, but here we go. They could run out, they could cheat, they could do whatever, and then come home to me. I'm not about that life.
Right. Where's Nikki?
I don't know. She fell off. She'll be back.
I fell off because I was trying to fix your sound, but
I got myself back. I don't know. It just came back. It's okay. Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, I heard some of it what you were saying, Michelle.
Say it again, Michelle, because I missed it too.
Just the fact that accountability is at an all-time low. Men don't hold themselves accountable, but there's a second piece to that where women don't always hold them to account.
Right.
See, there's consequences, right? Because women have to be willing to say, I'm not going to tolerate you treating me any kind of way. So with that clip that we listened to earlier, where the girl was like, if you think I'm going to leave my man because he slept with somebody else, yes.
Yes.
I can't even believe that's the question. But here we sit. We find that women are willing to put up with things unnecessarily to be with a man or to be in some kind of relationship. Yeah. And I mean, listen, my mother always used to say, I could do bad by myself.
That's exactly.
I could do bad by myself. And if I have to come up and educate myself and work hard to take care of myself and be at peace, it's the peace for me right? Too. But I'm not worrying about you running out in the street and sleeping with all these other women and they're coming home to me. We're not doing that.
Exactly.
At all.
Exactly right. I know a little bit what killed me with her, that little clip, was when she said, well, he respects me. And I'm saying to myself, well, what is your definition of respect?
Exactly. Exactly.
Your definition of respect is that what? He pays the bills?
Yes.
And that you call him fiance? Is that your? I don't understand that, because there is no way that you call that respect for somebody that's stepping out on you and it means absolutely nothing. I don't understand.
And I really want to understand. So if anybody out there has any insight on this, please let me know, because I'm really truly curious. Yeah, I'm really truly curious about this, because there are far too many women who tolerate shenanigans. And the bad part, the repercussion of that, is that because men know it, they continue to do whatever, because they know she ain't going nowhere. She'll be back. She'll be back. But like my good daddy always said, they don't know me because I'm blind them with booty. I'm out of here. I am out of here. No, you're not coming cheating and doing all of this other stuff and then coming home to me. I just, the self-respect that I have for myself wouldn't allow me to do it.
Exactly. That's it.
That's exactly right. But it's even more than that. I think that, one thing is about someone cheating and stuff. It's more than that, right? Because I think that, you could be disrespected in a lot of other ways as well.
Oh, for sure.
They don't, I find it to be a disrespect if somebody don't want to see you grow. I find that to be disrespectful. I to want you to sit in the back seat, right? and let them drive. But where are we driving to? And then as soon as you get in the front seat, they talking negative about you, and you're supposed to be their significant other, whatever that looks like. And I think that's disrespectful. So it comes in a lot of different forms. And I think that we as women, not all of us, but a lot of us, we conform to that kind of treatment of thinking that this is what we need to accept. And in fact, we don't. As you said earlier, I believe with my soul, women rule the world. And so a lot of us, some of us do, a lot of us don't step into that. We don't. We'll play the background and downplay who we are in order to think that we're going to make someone else happy. And in fact, you're making yourself miserable.
But to Nikki said it earlier when you were talking about just now, like how they don't support and encourage, that really has more to do with them and their insecurities.
Yep.
You gotta be with a strong man that will allow you to be who you are completely and authentically, and not feel threatened by that.
And love you for it, right?
Exactly.
And proud that this is my lady, and she's doing big things or whatever. It could be the smallest of things, and I'm here to support her. But you have some that their ego won't allow them to, unfortunately, or their pride won't allow them to, because maybe they stagnant in their area.
Right.
Right.
And then there's this other little component where, so many women, and I would dare say particularly Black women, are encouraged to lift up your man. Don't make him look bad. Don't do this. Don't do that. Meanwhile, he could cuss you out in the street, but don't say nothing because you're supposed to keep that in the house, and it's not.
That's true. And I'm gonna be honest, Michelle. A lot of women are taught that, right? They are taught that because this is from generations.
Yes.
Right? This is from generations, and they expect us to put our tool belt on and help them out. Generations.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is from generations.
I'm sorry. I got a mess going on over here in the little.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
But
we haven't been doing this in a while. I got to get my controls back in order here.
I'm gonna be better next time. I'm gonna have my Facebook up too. I wasn't prepared. Next time, I'm gonna be ready.
I thought I was prepared, but I actually really wasn't. I can't. My mind don't work the way. I'm not a spring chicken like I used to be. I gotta do this one here, do this one here. Somebody telling me to give me a link, and I don't know if they want a link to come on to the show or if they want a link just to watch it. So
yeah, a lot of them
come on the show. You put your comment on here, and I'll see it, and then hopefully you'll be able to get in here before that next 15 minutes. But anyway, ladies, keep going. Sorry. I interrupted.
But we did we touch on what Joy had put up? We did touch on those conservatives, right? We did touch on what they opposing and what they want and what they want to see.
And that to me was the scariest part, because
me too.
This man is literally saying that he don't want women to vote at all. That he want women to be represented by their household husbands. So what if you're a woman without a husband? That means you don't get a vote. You don't get a say.
You don't get a say.
So I mean, we talking about
patriarchy. Listen, what if look? What if I do have a husband and he a jackass? I'm following that. No, I'm not doing that. Exactly. I have my own voice. I have my own voice
and my own my own mind, my own.
Just think about how many different households where the husband is a Republican and the wife is Democrat, or vice versa.
It happens.
It happens
Absolutely.
a lot.
It happens a lot. I had a staff member. She was Democrat and her husband was a Republican. Don't you know he turned her? What? He turned her right into a Republican, and now she pro-Trump. I can't believe it.
Ain't that something?
And I look at her every day like, I can't believe that
you just
what? Yeah, and you know, I can't say much at work about no politics.
No, yeah.
But I look at her and I just shake my head to say, I know you've been married to him 30 years, but your choice is your choice. What is wrong here?
Right.
I don't know.
Right. I don't see
And
how.
that's where the big question comes from me. What is it? Is it self-esteem, or is it just feel like that's all I'm worth, or that's all I can get, or that to me is my biggest question is, what is it inside that makes a woman, nobody else, a woman feel that you have to be less than to have a man? I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Well, I don't think that is always her self-esteem. I think that, you know, the broader topic of what we're talking about is patriarchy. And the fact is that the society is really set up in a way where men control everything.
Yeah.
So if you are in a relationship where the man is the lion's share of the salary, or the man is really taking care of everything, then in some ways a woman they don't have any recourse but to acquiesce. And I never forget one time I heard Oprah tell the story about how she went in for a raise because one of her coworkers who was doing the same job she was doing was making so much more than she was. And the boss told her, oh, because he has a family to support and you're a single woman. And that was the excuse for them paying her less money instead of paying her for the job that she was doing, which is equal or probably better, knowing her better than what he was doing.
That's
and
right.
So that's really all women want, is to be treated fairly and treated the way men are treated, especially when it comes to your employment and your livelihood.
That's right.
We're not looking to replace men. I don't want to replace a man. I know I need men.
I definitely don't.
Men for the talents that they bring.
That's right.
I don't want to be relegated to just being your housewife and cooking and cleaning when I know I have a brain and I can do other things.
And that's it right there. That's it right there. And whereas you have some men that love that, they are very supportive.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I see out here now, down to our government, is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
How far we thought we came, and really how far have we come?
Not that far.
I don't think we've come
that far. And unfortunately, people like your coworker, I don't know her, but I'm gonna assume she's white. And
yep,
she'll send us back into the dark ages because I don't care how bad it get for other women. For white women, they have a different kind of security when white men are in power. They're still going to be covered in ways that we're not covered. So it doesn't matter whether Trump is in office to some of them.
And then what they gonna do? Leave us high and dry?
Yeah, we always high and dry. But guess what? This is what they don't like about us, is that no matter how high and dry they leave us, we always wind up turning it around, fixing it up.
That's true.
And that's why they keep trying to silence us.
Right.
With all of these ridiculous excuses and reasons, you know. If the white girl on my job says something, oh, that's a good idea. Da-da-da-da-da. If I say something, I'm aggressive.
Isn't that something?
That right there kills me.
Yep, happens every day.
That kills
me. And I'm like, she said the same thing I said. She had the same reaction I did.
Right.
So there's always going to be that double standard. There's always going to be that double standard. There's always going to be that disconnect, if you will. So I don't know, ladies. What do you think? Where do you go from here?
What do you do about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. In my opinion, I think a lot of people shun from talking politics all the time when they really shouldn't. Because unfortunately, politics is really all we have to get back, because we lost so much, to get back some of what we lost. A lot of people don't want to talk about, who you should vote for.
Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion, you have to have the discussion. And there's not a great pool of candidates. We know that, but it's either the devil or the dog, one or the other.
One or the other.
I'll take the dog over the thing.
I take the dog any day. I take the dog any day. At least we moving some, like you could deal with the dog a little better.
Right, you could train the dog.
Right, but that devil there is nothing you could do with it.
Nothing.
That is nothing.
I think people tend to stay away from like a lot of political stuff and all that kind of. It's because it's just so corrupt.
I mean, it is corrupt, but at this point,
it's so corrupt.
It's the only system we have. It's been corrupt. I think it'll be corrupt until people who are like us get involved. A lot of people, it's like Martin Luther King's, well, I don't know if Martin Luther King said it. I just know, because I think it was before him, it was during the Holocaust maybe, that good people perish because, people perish because good people looked away. I'm paraphrasing, of course. I don't know exactly.
Yes, I know.
But that's what it is that when people look away and don't want to get involved, it's too messy for them. That's when the system becomes more corrupt because you decided that it was too much for you to get involved.
That's right.
Because that's also why we're here right now. Because I don't know what Trump got going on, but he got all these people scared of him.
Right.
And I'm like,
he got something on some of these people. He
got something. He definitely got something. Because I'm like, whoop his behind and get it over with already.
Well, to me,
why are we still prolonging this?
He's kind of like, you ever seen the movie Jim Jones where they drank the Kool-Aid?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's Trump.
It's a cult.
He's a cult. It's a cult.
It's a cult leader. He's a cult leader.
He's a cult leader.
He's an absolute cult leader.
Yep.
And he loves that kind of energy.
Yes. And you gotta give it to him. He's very charismatic. He's a master manipulator.
Yep.
He's also great at master marketing. So he's perfect for a cult leader. And
he says the things that they want to say.
Yep.
And he does the things that they've always wanted to do, and they think that is going to go backwards.
Yep.
And in fact, that you just gonna have a war because it's not gonna happen.
Yep.
And so
he's already saying that. He's already saying if he don't get in, it's gonna be like whatever.
A bloodbath.
Yeah. Anyone can do what he did on January 6th and still be able to run. That's how you know something is wrong with this country as a whole. Yep. Because if that had been Obama, he would be in jail.
He would have been in jail.
Oh my God.
Jail, under the jail.
They wanted to lock him up. They wanted to lock him up for wearing a tan suit.
I was gonna say the same thing, for wearing a tan suit. Yep.
Like what are we doing?
What are we doing?
This is what I'm saying.
What are we doing?
This is
the fact that people don't see that.
That's what blows my mind.
How you pretend that didn't happen?
They see it. They see it, but you saw
it.
They see it, but you guys really, everybody, even my own family argued with me about this. White supremacy and racism is so deep in this country.
Oh yeah,
they blind you of it because they see it, they know it, but as long as they think that they could still be the ones to reign supreme in this country, they'll put up with anything that Trump says or does. Because you got to think about it now, about white supremacy and what that says. And this is why it seems almost rabid now. When Black people are doing so well in so many areas, especially women, who are the most educated group of people, period, in this country. So when you see that after all that they've put us through, you have to understand that for white people, that they can no longer put up this idea that black people are less than, or that we're not human, we're half human. They can't stand that.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that now some of us, even some of us who are not educated, have more wealth than they do, have more property and all of this other stuff, accolades, fame, talent. And when they see that, the only thing left they have that they could say is better than being black is that they white. Chris Rock said it in his little stand-up. I'm rich. And no people will not want to trade places with me. And that's all they have left to cling to.
Yep.
And so Trump speaks exactly to that.
Yes, he does.
Exactly.
And they eating it up. They eating it up like some good candy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They eating it up like some good candy. And I'm telling you, I just have a fear that this man is going to get back in there.
Yeah.
And I don't know where we gonna be.
And the women follow along because they feel like they'll be like little pretty little Stepford wives. And that's how they behave.
Yeah, they think so.
If you watch Republican women on television, just look at them. They look like Stepford wives. Their eyes are glazed over, smiling, happy. Talk about all that silly conservatism. They just like Stepford wives. They've been programmed.
Yeah. And unfortunately,
unbelievable.
Some of our people have been programmed.
Isn't that shame?
And yeah, that's for another topic. But we've been programmed, unfortunately, which is really, really sad. But like Michelle said, where do we go from here? And I know Nikki said that, most people, they turn a blind eye to what's going on. But where do we go from here just as women? Mm-hmm. To be better. I mean, I think it starts at home and what you train up your child, right?
That's true.
You train them up. You train your daughters up. I'm talking about the daughters only, who they are and what they should accept. Of course, because now they start early with social media, and they start early with the internet, and then they get all of their validation. When they get all their validation from others, that's who they tend to go towards. Mm-hmm. It's the truth.
It's the truth.
It's the truth, right? Even though you could pour into your child, I'm telling you that internet will get them locked in, believing that they got to be an Instagram girl in order to be somebody. So they can get a guy with money, whatever. So it starts there. I believe it starts there with your daughters, and this you have to stay on top of it, because this internet and this social media will have them blind. It have adults blind. Never mind children. I mean, grown people that were raised a certain way,
right?
Totally different than now. Our whole society and everything is totally different than it used to be. And some great is great, and some of it not so great to me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But that's another whole campaign that I've been talking about for many, many years. And even I have a hard time with it. But remember, I always my thing is this. This is my saying, and when I die and go on to heaven, y'all remember that I always say this: the person who has control of propaganda of the media has control of your mind.
That's
if
right.
They got control of your mind, they got control over your body.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to always guard what you let into your eye gate, your ear gate. All that stuff is important. So
it really is.
Things that we watch on television, and I've been saying for years, I hate all of those reality shows because it's no good for us. It's no good for us.
I stopped watching it a long time ago because after a while, all of it started looking the same. I couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not knocking anybody that love it. That's
And
not,
now,
what you say, Michelle? Because you love it.
and now everybody want to get. Well, some of it, but it's funny to me how now everybody want to get married in 10 minutes. You got Love is Blind. You got, you know.
Oh, Michelle.
Yeah, and I'll be watching that. I do.
Married at first sight, and you know, 90 Day Fiancé, rushing into these relationships because they really have a lot of fantasies. A lot of women grow up, that's their ultimate goal. I want to meet a nice man, I want to settle down, have 2.3 kids, and this, that, and the other. And that's where they place all of their validation. That's another problem.
Right.
That's another problem.
I mean, with these are other topics. Like, these are some big topics.
Yeah. Well,
it's a big discussion.
We can have a big discussion just on that. Because it's true. And that's why I say that men have to be accountable for their part, because most women, and I will even venture to say myself when I was a younger, sillier person, that was for me, that was life. To find a good man and settle down, no matter what I did, because I always wanted to be something. But I still found that whatever I was, I wanted to be attached to a man. And, you know, sometimes people are and sometimes they are not. So, you know, wait a minute. Hold on one second.
And sometimes women will limit themselves.
Hey, Tia, hold on one second. Y'all go ahead and talk among yourselves.
Michelle, what you saying?
She busy. You know, a lot of times, sometimes women will limit themselves or go into the shadows trying to push their man out there and not taking advantage of all the opportunities that they have because they still want to be attached to that man. So I'm gonna cook, I'm gonna clean, I'm gonna do whatever.
Right. But then
I don't know. It's intricate. It's so many layers to it, so many things that, you know, contribute to these ideologies that it's so much to it. I don't even know how to articulate it. It's history. It's, you know, how they were raised. It's the examples that they saw.
That's a big thing too now.
Religion, all of it is so much. So while we gave it the old college try, you know, trying to really wrap our brains around such a big issue is a challenge. So but it's a great way to hopefully get people to start looking inside, like who are you?
Right.
What do you want? What do you want to contribute? You know, and how much, and most importantly, what are you willing to sacrifice to let that happen?
Exactly.
That's right. And I would say too is, what are we doing collectively as women? And I'm talking about Black women in particular, because that's what we are. What are we doing as Black women to really come together, right? And really come together? Because I always hear, oh, that's my sister and I got her back and all of this. But are we really coming together? Like, are we supporting one another like we do? A lot of us do. I'm not saying that we don't, but are we really collectively coming together when we see one of our sisters down, or we see that we need to, or that we need to mentor someone that's younger than us, because they are our future, even if it's not your kid.
Right. Like,
so it starts there. I think that it starts there because if we leave it up to them and the world, they'll keep us down, just wash down walls and
in trouble. Yeah.
So we cannot leave it up to them. Especially our generations after us deserve more, right? And I think what they're getting and what they're saying now is going to be so detrimental. And as we get older, that's our next leaders. Now what?
Right. Exactly. I agree. Totally. But it, like you said, Dion, mentoring is so important. And I feel like our generation kind of dropped the bomb a little bit.
We did. Our
Not
generation.
us in particular, because I happen to know that all three of us have worked with young women.
Yes.
Not us in particular, but I'm just saying as a whole in general. Our
As a
generation
whole.
dropped the bomb because you got people our age that's have grandchildren. Some of them got great grandchildren. They still in the club,
Right? Or they just and they don't want to.
and
I'm
get
gonna
them
be
out the
honest
club.
with you. A lot of people in our generation that I know of, they don't want to be bothered.
Right.
They don't want to be bothered. Not like when our grandmothers and our aunts sat down and talked to us and all of those things. Our generation, a lot of us, they saying they living their best life. And you can do
They kill
that.
Big Mom. They kill
Huh?
They kill Big Mom. Big Mom. The Big Mom that you could come to the table and get a little
They don't want that name.
slice of pound cake and have a good conversation with a cup of coffee.
You better not call
I
them.
haven't
You
listen.
better not call them grandma. You better not call them
Exactly. I done heard so many new names for grandmothers. You got Mimi and Grandma.
Yes, I grew up with grandma. I don't know how old my grandmother was, and she wasn't that old. She was in her early 50s, and I was calling her grandma, and she loved it. But not no more.
Not anymore.
So I think that's where you're right, Nikki. We dropped the ball with our generation, and not that we can't pick it back up, because we have the time, and I think that we really have to do that. We have to. It's a must.
We do
at this time.
Absolutely.
So to wrap it up, ladies, would you say that?
I was just about to say, and on that note, speaking of time, we're basically out of it.
So to wrap it up, then, in other words, you guys are saying, in order to put an end to patriarchy, it's the ladies who got to step up and take care of the village, like we've always been doing.
Like we have been doing. I think we just got to do a little more.
Yep. All right, ladies, it was a good moment. See, we went over an hour anyway, without even a real big audience. We went over an hour.
But that's all right. We just getting back out.
I'm gonna put as a title "Big Booty Dances" and everybody. Everybody be something.
That's right.
Y'all want to see me twerk?
No.
Don't nobody want to see. Don't nobody want to see that. That would be a mess.
It was nice anyway. Whoever came and whoever will come, we still appreciate you.
Yes,
and
we
know
do.
that we are now live with the ladies, and we have our beautiful new co-host, Dion McNeil.
I love being with you.
Joining us. We're not going to necessarily guarantee every Tuesday. We're going to try, but when we can, we'll be here. But
that's right.
Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend.
Exactly. Tell a friend and tell a friend.
Come check us out.
And we'll see
Tell
you
them we're back
on Tuesdays.
All right. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Love y'all.
Bye, ladies. Love more.
Bye.